We'll get started. So today we are joined by the legendary Rehan Jalali. And Rehan, for people who may not know who you are, could you tell us about yourself and the people that you've worked with? You have quite an impressive portfolio. So
Yeah, sure. My history starts off, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. My origin story is 30 years old, so I'm very old. I've been doing body transformations for 25 years, and I started off not always working with celebrities or athletes. I started off working with everyday people as a trainer and, writing and things like that. And then I transitioned into Los Angeles and working with some pretty cool people like Sylvester Stallone, Ben Affleck, Deborah Messing, Forrest Whitaker, Nicole Scherzinger. The list goes on, thank God. But, from there, it was just everything grew out of that. And from someone who basically created a business out of his hobby and, suddenly started getting other opportunities, movies and other things. So it was kind of a good ride so far, thank God.
cool, man, cool. Yeah, you definitely have this innate passion, and it does glow in everything you do, from your interviews on YouTube and from the people you seem to hang out with. You have the most coolest lifestyle, it seems, of anyone I've seen on Facebook or anything on social media. Can we just start maybe from the beginning then? Was it always that kind of straight path of fitness and nutrition, or did you do other things as well before this?
Thanks for saying that. Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate the compliment. But I started off as an athlete. That's how I kind of started off. I started playing off American football, and that's how I was a skinny kid. I never could gain muscle. I was always thinking about, like, how do I get muscle? How do I get big? Because I was like the skinniest kid ever. I mean, I was the hardest gainer. Like I was like the lightest, skinniest guys. I had the tiniest arms. I was just trying to get pumped up, and so I started playing sports, and then from there I transitioned into athletics, and then actually, interesting enough, I started studying accounting. So I was going to crunch numbers for a living, and then my whole path changed because I started competing. Like a lot of people in the industry started competing in powerlifting, competing in bodybuilding. I did really well, so I thought to myself, I'm going to go ahead and follow my passion. Yeah. Like, I'm going to follow my dream and not just do what everybody in the world wants me to do. They want to put you in a box and they want you to do, a corporate gig or whatever it is. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to follow my passion. And so I did. And I just literally started, doing well in competitions, did nationals in powerlifting and bodybuilding. From there, changed my major in college to nutrition and food science, studying biochemistry and things. And, man, the rest is just history, man. It was just an amazing, amazing time. And from there, I always say this. If you're an asset to people and if you're the best at what you do or if you're good at what you do, you always have opportunity. And people will always come around in any time, in a pandemic, in a good time, anytime, because if you're an asset to people, if you can benefit them, and as you know, if you really, really, truly help people, the success will come. So to me, I was never about, oh, man, I'm going to live this lifestyle or I'm going to make this money or I'm going to do all this stuff. It was never about that. It was about, to me, it was initially about, listen, I want to help people. I want to help people get further. And look, that's it. And it wasn't alone. I didn't do it alone. I had a lot of help and people that really supported me. So it takes teamwork. They always say you can go faster alone, but you can go further together. So that was kind of my Batman origin story.
Yeah,
right there.
I love that. I do actually want to get to talking about that. I think you have the coolest job ever to say that you've trained Batman. Literally, I'm such a massive fan of Batman. And in terms of that, how did this all come about, though? It just seems like when I've watched your stuff on Facebook and seen your pictures in the Oscars and movies awards and stuff like this, how did it first come about from the first potential celebrity? How did that happen?
Man, I was really fortunate enough to initially. A lot of people tell me, "Hey, did you start, from the bottom?" I did actually. I always say it took me 20 years to become an overnight success. People don't see the grind, right?
Yeah.
And as you know as well. I mean, you work hard. It takes the effort when no one's watching. That's really what it boils down to. So my whole thing when I started, and I'll get to the story of how I kind of took off or whatever. Initially, look, I wanted to just research and I wanted to be the best at what I did. So when my friends were partying, they were at the pubs, they were, doing all the things they were doing when you're younger. I was in the libraries. I was in the, back in the Paleolithic era. We didn't have social media or computers or all that.
Yeah.
But I used to go to the library. I used to study medical journals. I used to read. I used to write. I started writing for a lot of magazines nationally. I don't know if you remember magazines. There was this little thing where you paper and you turn. And
yeah, it's a foreign concept. Yeah, do it too.
Yeah. It's all tablets now. But so what I did though with that is I started specializing in nutrition and supplements, and on top of the training. So I really started becoming a specialist in the field and becoming sort of an expert in supplements specifically. So from there, the way it started off, I moved to California. I burned the boats, basically, as they say. Yeah. I jumped in the water with the sharks, and people always ask me, like, man, did you have contacts here? You must have. I had no one here. Like, I literally came here with no contacts, no network. And Hollywood is a fortress. Like, I don't know if you know about Hollywood, but it's literally, it's very difficult to get in to work with high-level talent because they have access to anyone and anyone in the whole world. So my biggest sort of break that came after, 20 years of studying and working was one day I'm sitting at home, and this is about 16 years ago, and I get a call on the flip phone, the old phone. So I'm like, hello, and it's hey Rehan, this is Sylvester Stallone calling. It's I'm like, who? He's like, Stallone? Like, what?
Wow.
No. So then he's going on and on. So Stallone's like, talking about like some project he wants me to get involved with, and he heard about me from someone, got referred, saw my articles or whatever, saw my new book that just came out at that time, and I was like listening to him, and I was like, okay, who's playing a joke? Like, which one of my friends? This is a prank. I mean, this is no way. I'm the kid who grew up like watching Rocky and running around the house and doing push-ups and drinking the raw eggs and all that kind of stuff. And now he's on the phone with me. Like, can you imagine? Like, it's mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, nah, this is a prank call. Who's doing this? This is Adam. Who is this? Come on. I go, okay, Sly, whatever. So I hung up on him. So I hung up on Rocky.
Wow.
So he calls me back right away. Hey, really? We got cut off. What happened? I'm like, we didn't get cut off. I hung up. He's like, what? And he's like, no, this is Sly. And I'm like, the more he's talking, I'm like, wow, it kind of sounds just like him. Like, man, I mean, and then you put the phone away from me. You're like, is this really happening? like a dream sequence. Imagine if your favorite celebrity or your favorite athlete just gives you a call one day. You're just like,
yeah.
I mean, this is like Bizarro World, right?
Wow.
And so from there, he said he was starting a supplement company, and he wanted me to come along and be a partner with him, develop products, and kind of help with the marketing. And so I did, and it was called InStone, and we jumped full speed ahead. And from there, I started working with him personally as a nutritionist, started training, all the stuff that came along with it. And man, he just literally opened up Hollywood for me. Like, he introduced me to Bruce Willis, to all the celebrities, to a top trainer here called Gunnar Peterson, a bunch of guys, and he opened all those doors. And when those doors are open, when it comes from a legend, you can easily access so much more, right? Versus trying to pound the pavement and do it the slow way. I got to do it the fast way, thank God, So that was the benefit of it.
That's cool, man. Honestly, I'm a massive fan of Stallone. Actually, to be honest, I actually think Stallone is why I started lifting weights.
Yes, a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like, massive fan of Rambo, massive fan of Rocky. So very jealous of that phone call. But I literally remember there's a scene in Rocky. For me, like, growing up, I've always struggled with dyslexia and learning difficulties and stuff like that. And there's a line in Rocky where he says, I think something his father used to say something. He said something like, you weren't born much of a brain, so you better start using your body. And when I heard that, that's what got me into the gym, and it was actually because of Stallone. So,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, a lot of people. Me too. I'm telling you, my first push-up I think I did after watching Rocky. So.
Love it, man. Love it. And in terms of like Stallone in general, is he everything he is like in his interviews and in person? Is he that kind of? Because he's unbelievably so wise. I actually saw him in Manchester to do it was like a Q&A. It was one of the best nights of my life. Unbelievably so wise and so gracious. Is he generally like that in person as well?
Man, he's even better than that in person, actually. I mean, he's one of the most entertaining people you ever meet, the most realist guy ever. He's like the typical person that when they say that like fame didn't get to his head, that's him.
Wow.
Like he was the most, like, he's a legend in every way. Like, the most generous person, the most coolest person, never ever made me feel like, wow, I'm talking to a legend. Or he was just a regular guy. I used to go to his house, and hang out. And he just made you feel comfortable. Like he used to watch movies, and he just say, "Hey, come into the kitchen, let's go eat." And never made me feel like, "Oh wow, inside I was like kind of freaking out, like, wow, this is like, this is crazy. I'm watching a movie with Stallone. This is unbelievable.
Wow.
So for me, it was surreal, but for him, he was just really cool and really entertaining and extremely wise. And one of the wisest things he told me before it actually came out in the last Rocky.
Yeah.
But he told me this early before, like a few years before that. He said, "Listen, you're starting off. You're now entering into this Hollywood thing and working with celebrities and all that. Listen." I go, "Listen." He told me something. He said, "It's not how hard you punch; it's how hard you can take punches, and you can keep getting up and moving forward." And he goes, "Look, you're gonna take some hits here. You're not gonna like everything that happens, but guess what? You take the hits, you get up, and you keep moving forward. You fall down 6 and get up 7." Yeah. And that kind of thing that I learned when I was playing sports or whatever continued on. And he told me that. He said, "Listen, you got to keep punching," and that's something I live by. So that's what I learned, is that whenever people count you out, punch back harder. Fight harder. Get up faster. And that's it. And continue going strong. That's what Sly taught me.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, I'm so impressed with that as well, because he does seem so knowledgeable and just so grounded and humble. And he could very easily just be so arrogant and, coming from nothing and then has this massive fame. It's he's done so well in his career. So, but yeah. So in terms of that as well, then how important is Rehan in terms of perseverance, and how important is that in the grand scheme of being successful in the gym, fitness, career? What would you say about?
Man, as someone who's done it for, I would say now in my business for 25 years. And evolving, because look, 25 years ago, fitness was different than it is today.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have social media, and we didn't have, I've seen all the changes, right? I've seen it from magazines to BlackBerry to, email to internet to Instagram. So the evolution, I think that, the key thing that I learned over all that, and again, going back to the advice of Sly, is that, look, you're going to be knocked down. Life is like that, right? Life is going to hit you out of left field. Like, look at 2020. That's, it's, in fact, from now on, whenever I say the word crazy, I'm not going to use crazy anymore. I'm going to use 2020. Like, man, that guy is so 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He's acting so 2020.
Absolutely, man. It has been a crazy year. My
right?
God.
But the thing is, if you believe in yourself, right? If you understand that you can, and this is something I've learned for 25 years, going through everything in fitness, is that if you just control on what you do, right, what's in front of you, and what you can control, then you'll have success, because you don't worry about external forces. That's good. Look, the world's going to be what the world's going to be, right? There may be pandemics, wars. Anything can happen, right? But if you can control what you do and what's in front of you, and have that mindset of, look, I'm going to take today and work on today, okay? I'm not going to worry about a week from now, a year from now. Look, I'm going to worry about today. Okay, what can I do today to be great? Okay, then I go to the next day. And it's that step-by-step thing, or even the hour, whatever. And if you look at it that way, and if you manage it that way, then that helps with perseverance. Because you don't get caught up with overthinking and thinking you're missing out or whatever it is. You think about today. You think about, okay, today I got to work with this client. Or I got to do this today. I got to write this. Taking that philosophy and understanding that can go so far in helping you persevere,
Love that. Yeah, in terms of that then, what would you say when people are, because they may hear all this and say, well, Rehan's just lucky, it's all this and that, it's this. In terms of people who have that kind of, victim identity, what would you say to people like that to maybe try and get them out of that?
Man, that's a great thing you just mentioned, a great topic. Man, these are great, hard-hitting questions. I love it.
Yeah.
So really, me personally, and I know this might not be a popular thing to say, but I don't believe in victim mentality. And the reason I say that, I'm not just saying that just to say it. I'm saying it because I experienced it. In the sense of, I could have played victim, okay? I'm not like, I'm not like the traditional Hollywood person. I didn't have contacts. I didn't grow up in LA. I grew up in Texas. I grew up in very moderate means. I came literally almost from nothing. And I literally didn't have contacts. I could have played victim all day long. I had no advantages. I had poor genetics. Like, I'm not made to be a bodybuilder. I went to nationals, and I did it naturally. And that's why I actually retired from bodybuilding, because I didn't want to do the drugs. So I overcame every single thing they said that you can't overcome. So people always said, oh, but you're not this, but you're not that. And especially when I moved to LA, they're like, you're going to move to LA? There's no way you're going to make it. People come to LA. This is the land of failed dreams, right? You go to LA, you try acting, you move back to wherever you came from a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, right? And so everybody discouraged me. And I said, and I could have played victim then. I could have said, oh, you know what? Yeah, no. I said, no, I'm going to be great because, you know why? Because I'm going to work harder than everybody else. And that was it. Because that is something I can control.
Yeah.
Okay, I can blame anybody else. I can blame the pandemic. I can blame people not giving me a chance. Or I could say a million different excuses. Like the gym, right? People at the gym always, or people, my clients come in sometimes and say, oh, I don't have time. I don't have this. And then we overcome all that. Any excuse they ever had, I'm like, listen, whatever excuse you have, somebody had a worse time. Or had a better excuse than you. So, and they did it, and they achieved success. So, don't play victim. Look, overcome that. And coming into LA wasn't easy, and I don't believe in luck. Like you mentioned luck, I don't believe in luck. I think luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Yeah. I think if you're not, like, Sly didn't call me for no reason. Like, it was because I wrote articles for national magazines for 6 years before that. It was because I wrote a new book. It was because I started becoming known as an expert. When you put good energy out, good vibes, right, and that helping energy, then people always gravitate towards you. I always say this, look, you're either an asset or a liability. Even with all my clients, even today at this level, I always say, listen, I don't care who you are, what kind of legend you are, I'm going to be an asset to you. Okay, I don't want anything from you. I just want to help you be your best. And if you have that mentality, then you can overcome anything. And yes, of course, there's going to be biases, and there's going to be people that aren't going to give you chances, and they're going to be haters, and they're going to, all that will come. But if you worry about that, you'll never have success. Yeah. Like, there's a great quote by Winston Churchill that says, you'll never, on the path of success, you'll never achieve greatness if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks.
Yeah. Love that.
Let them keep barking, and we just keep going forward, man. Let's go.
Yeah, love that, Rehan. Yeah. In terms of that, I did actually see a conference. I mean, it even goes to the point of Comic-Con and stuff like this, which, it's unbelievably so cool. I'm a massive superhero fan, so maybe talk about that later as well. In terms of that, I did notice one of your seminars, and it was about creating the superhero body. And in terms of that, what would you say to start in terms of, even if it's training, nutrition, lifestyle, for someone maybe watching this to try and get in shape, maybe for the very first time?
That's a great question. I think, I've had the fortunate event of working with thousands of people now from all different walks of life, and I can tell you there's some rules that are kind of all, go really across the board. And a few of those, number one, I would always say is customization. That is the most important thing when anyone's starting out, and what I mean by that is learning about your body, learning your food preferences, learning what affects you, what your challenges are, doing blood work, understanding your body, what your deficiencies are, what you're prone to, doing genetic testing, looking at your genes as well. And we do all of that. And so when you do the customization part of it and you understand your body, you kind of have a blueprint or a roadmap to have much better fitness success versus, I'll watch a YouTube video or I'll read a book and I'll just go, he says do intermittent fasting, I'll try that. That doesn't really work long term because you can try something new. And that's why a lot of people always tell me, like, man, you got to go on these blogs and you got to go on Facebook and start, hammering these people and arguing with them and telling them the truth. And I'm like, listen, every fitness argument has one ending, and that is, it depends. That's the answer to every fitness argument.
Love that.
It depends. Look, keto might work for you. I personally don't like keto. A lot of people it works great for. Good, do it. But look, don't say that one program is better than another program because it varies. Like even yourself, for example, I'm sure you've done programs, and then a year later that didn't work for you. You had to change even your own program because of your changes to your body. Your body's different. You change your lifestyle, whatever changes, right? So we as humans evolve, and we have to have our program, our body transformation program, evolve with that, and that requires customization. So the first advice I always say is, tell me about yourself. Tell me what your challenges are. Tell me your medical history. Tell me your weight training history. Tell me your dieting history. Tell me what you've done. And sometimes that is a big part of it because it's, for example, your thyroid hormone, for example, will be shot. So now we have to look at that and evaluate that and see if there's any deficiencies. So the number one tip is customization. The number two tip, and this is the second and only tip, is execute. Simple. I know it's so simple. You want the secret, but
yeah, love that, man.
Basic information. It's execute. Look, we can talk about it. Okay, everybody says, yeah, I'll do it. But in fact, I'm writing a new book, and it's almost out, called the Superhero Diet Plan. And there's a chapter in that book called Monday Never Comes. And what the chapter says is, everybody says, what do they say? Monday, I'm ready. I'm gonna start the new program, and Monday never comes because if you wait till Monday, it's already Tuesday.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, man. I'm actually going to start using them 2 pillars for the rest of my life now. That literally encompasses so much so simply, but it's so true. It's so...
Take action.
Yeah,
take action. Go for a walk. I mean, anybody... I always say this. They say, well, I don't have equipment, and I don't know about it. I'm like, listen, do you have a floor?
yeah. If you have a body and a floor, you're fine. Yeah.
You're good. You can start. I mean, do something. Look, it's only going to better you. Like, that's what I always say. Go, listen... You're not doing this for someone else. This is actually for you. Do something for yourself that improves If I told you guys that I gave you something that would have so many benefits to your life, and it would only take you 5 or 10 or 20 minutes a day to do it, I mean, you would invest in that all day long,
100%.
Right? Yeah. You would do it. There's no question. So it's just you just have to execute, find out about your body, and then just do the work. That's all. There's no substitute for work. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, 100%. Love that. So in terms of we've got your origin there, Rehan, and we've heard about the core fundamentals there. In terms of when it came across with Ben Affleck, because I think that is one of the coolest things. Your whole portfolio in general was unbelievably so cool. How did that come about, and how was the first instance with that? Who phoned you? Who contacted you? How did that come about?
Yeah, Ben actually called me one day, again, because of referrals. And this is a word-of-mouth industry. Like, you can't really solicit A-list celebrities. They don't really have that direct bat line where you could call them up and be like, hey, you want to work together? No, it doesn't work that way. So I was referred, actually. And again, it all started with Stallone. And so he called me up. This was about 15 years ago. So I've been working with him for about 15 years.
That's cool.
And thank God. And that's one thing I really pride myself on in my business is that I've had clients for 5, 10, 15, even 20 years. Because anybody can work with somebody once and then never hear from them again and become a celebrity trainer because they had one workout with a celebrity. But I really pride myself on sustainability. I'm really helping people over their long haul. And not only just their body, but their health. Like improving health, improving overall well-being, improving their life, their confidence. All those things are part of it, and that takes long term, right? I always say it's a marathon, not a sprint. So that's a big part of it. And then when Ben Affleck called me, he was getting ready for other movies, and so I started working with him. We hit it off right away. He was just a great dude. I went to his house, and we talked about fitness. He was with Jennifer Garner at the time, so I even started working with her. And he just one of the most, again, I've just been fortunate enough to get very generous clients and just cool clients and people who aren't arrogant, who aren't like, like the typical thing you would think of like, oh, well, celebs are like, oh, they're like this or like that, whatever the media tells you, right? Yeah. But mainly, he's the opposite. He was the most generous, nicest guy ever. Again, so much. And so I started working with him from there, and then we had project after project after project because he always had to be in shape. We did A Town, which is one of his greatest accomplishments. And so and then we started working from there. And I think it's part of it's rapport. A lot of it is also just trust, right? You have to work with someone that you trust. So they have a big issue with that because obviously their life is private, and they don't want to put their private life into public. So that's a huge part of it, actually. So working with him, I learned all those things, and we evolved. Customization was a big part of it, and he started doing all those things. So then we get to 2000, I would say 13 or 14, I think. So he calls me up, and he's the funniest conversation ever. So this is again the surreal life. This is like not real life. So he calls me up. He's like, "Listen, I'm playing Batman in a movie, and I gotta fight Superman. So I need to be muscular." I'm like, what? Wait, so Batman's calling me up and saying, I gotta fight Superman in a movie, and I need your help. I'm like, okay, you sounds good, yeah, sure. So he tells me he's going to be Batman, and he says, listen, you can't tell anybody, it's really low-key right now. I said, no problem, we'll get it. But the great part about him was that he had 18 months to do it. He wasn't like, oh, I got like 3 months to get ready. Normally my programs are 3 months, but he gave me 18 months. He gave me a year and a half. So that was huge because then we can, craft a whole program. And man, the guy works his tail off. He was like the hardest worker in the room. I mean, he trained like a monk. He was like vigilant. He even built a gym in his house, and I mean, a lot of different things. Wow. So he wanted to make sure he had success. So the funny story about him is that, so I go, hey man, I can't believe you're playing an iconic character, Batman. That's huge, And he's like, he was like, yeah, we'll see. They're gonna announce it in a press conference the next day. They're gonna announce it to the world. So he brothers, and he was talking a little nervous about it. He told me, he's like, man, I don't know, you think people will be happy or you think it'll be cool about it? I'm like, oh yeah, they love you, bro. Don't worry. Come on, you're 6'4". You're gonna be, I'm gonna make you. We're gonna get muscles, everything. And so he goes to Warner Brothers and he tells Warner Brothers like, hey, listen, what's you think this is gonna be okay? Because Batman, Batman's Batman. Like there's an iconic. Like there's people, there's fan clubs, there's thousands of accounts that are just dedicated to Batman fandom. So the executive Warner Brothers is like, oh, don't worry, they'll love you. So the next morning he calls me and he's like, he opens up the first social media after they announced it, and the first comment he sees is no, with like 800 no's. I'm like, oh, don't worry, you'll be okay. He's turned out to be one of the best Batmans ever.
I was gonna say, in terms of comic book accuracy, that is an unbelievably amazing Batman. I actually really liked him as Bruce Wayne as well. Also as well, yeah, you mentioned the movie The Town, where he's absolutely emaciated and super ripped. And then in Batman, where it's probably the biggest I've seen him, is like he refers to himself as like a brawler, this really thick, dense, muscular frame. So in terms of his training as well, Rehan, like what was the process? You said 18 months, quite a long period of time, wasn't 3 months or 2 months. What was the process of actually getting him in shape then in that time? What was the thing?
Well, a lot of it had to do with diet. I mean, diet is such a big part of it. Supplementation is a big part of it, especially at advanced level. The training was basically heavy lifting, like grunge bodybuilder type workouts, muscle failure, going to fatigue, and the guy was lifting heavy. I mean, he was at one point he was 120-pound dumbbells, wow. For presses, for chest presses. So he was, a beast in the gym, a fanatic. Pull-ups, everything, weighted pull-ups. He was a beast in the gym. He worked his, like I said, I always say this, you can design a plan for anyone, you can give them knowledge, but guess what? They got to do the work. So he put that work in. He put that time in under, of course, a very busy schedule. And, we had a team of people. Again, I always say this, it's not just me. We have a team of people. We have chefs. We have a bunch of different people. A guy called Walter Norton Jr. was one of his trainers as well. So, there's a lot of people who are involved in this transformation kind of process. And we oversee all that, and we make sure that they achieve results. But what it is? It's grinding day in, day out, continuing the motivation, making sure he's on the diet program, making sure, because you also have to remember, when someone's advanced like that, everything matters, right? I always say, beginners, hey, listen, go train, do the basics, you'll be fine. But when you start getting more advanced, and I'm sure you've seen it as well as you evolve your training, is once you've done it for a while, the same stuff doesn't really work as well. So you got to kind of adjust, and again, that has to do with blood work, that has to do with genetic testing, that has to do with body fat testing, that has to look at hydration. We look at all of those things as you evolve, and then goal setting. We have goals that we get to, we have deadlines to meet those goals, and then you keep somebody motivated, right? Someone like that, he's motivated because he's the Dark Knight, right? But he became such a workout guy that, he would do push-ups in his bat suit. It's crazy, on set.
Wow.
Right? He was amazing. So he actually had two suits. One was a regular bat suit, and they had a weighted armored suit.
Yeah.
And that weighted armored suit in the movie weighed 90 to 100 pounds. So he was wearing that, filming with 100 pounds on you. Imagine that. He's already 220, muscly, at 6'4", so now you got 100 more pounds on him, and he used to do push-ups on set with that, and he used to, it was amazing. The guy was one of the all-time great dudes, of our time. So, and he evolved from that, and he actually, Zack Snyder's going to launch the new Justice League, which is, oh my God, it is man. I can't confirm or deny if I've seen it, but my God, it's a different vibe. Yeah. It's a more grittier version, and you're going to love it. I think people will love that film, because he was originally obviously going to make it, and then things changed, but I think you'll like his version. Great dude, by the way. Zack Snyder's one of the best dudes ever as well. So you're going to like that version, that grittier hardcore version of the Justice League. You're going to see that.
Love it, man. Honestly, yeah, absolutely love that. Yeah, from what I've seen and the direction it has gone, and the saying it's going in multiple chapters, and it's sent to be very long, and with Dark Side, and get to see finally Dark Side. Like, I can't wait. In terms of that, Rehan, can you say anything about? Did you work anything on the reshoots or anything like that, or can you not? Can you not say?
I can't really say about that, but I can tell you this: that he's always prepared.
Yeah.
Like, we always make sure he's in good shape. So now he's been training a lot. He's overcome a lot of different hurdles too. I mean, it wasn't easy. So he, being in the public eyes, I don't really wish that level. Man, it's not an easy life. I mean, being scrutinized by the paparazzi, being hated on by nonsensical people, and all the stuff you deal with every single day. So he had to overcome a lot of different things. But he's staying in great shape. Look, he's at the best point, I think, in his life, and he's always in good shape. So he's always ready. If there is a reshoot, whatever it is, he's ready. Like, he'll always be ready. I would say, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to start using that. That's cool, man.
Seriously.
Yeah, awesome, bro. So in terms of that, we're probably going to wrap it up in a second, but I've honestly really enjoyed this, Rehan. Honestly, like, it's a massive insight into your world. It's been something that's intrigued me for so long, and I can definitely see why you are so successful, because you're so, like, you seem so personable, and like you said about customizing things, and are very social. In terms of like networking and stuff like that, will you often go out and speak to loads of people, or is it you'll get invited? How does that work? Like,
yeah, I think if you just become an asset to people, like, if people always ask me, like, what are your goals? My goal has never changed from day one. My goal has always been change the world one body at a time. That's my lifelong goal, and I think that was from day one to now. It never changed, and I think that's something that my dad taught me. Like, listen, you treat everybody the same. Whether he's a guy at a coffee shop, whether he's C.S.N, whether he's a big producer, the regular, whoever it is, you treat them the exact same. You become an asset to people, you help people, and that's something I've evolved, and that's helped me network. Because what that does is, like, a lot of people always ask me about networking correctly, and a lot of people don't network correctly. And I tell a lot of trainers this. I do a lot of certification courses, and I do a lot of talks to trainers, and I tell them, listen, if you want to network correctly, number one, be an asset and offer something. I always say never show up empty-handed, right? Because everybody gets asked, and especially being around celebrities and being around these people, I know what they go through every single day. Hundreds of people ask them for stuff, free stuff, give me this, give me that, and that gets tiring over the long haul. So I always say this: if you want to, for example, if you want to network with someone, is maybe somebody in your field or whoever it is, right? So listen. I'd like 30 minutes of your time. Pick your favorite restaurant. I'll take you out to your dinner. Something like that. Something simple as that. Like, here, let me do something for you, and then if you can give me some advice, that would be great, right? But the problem is people just ask first. Like, give me this, give me that. And it's like, who are you? I don't even know. I mean, that's just a crazy thing to do. So to me, the best networking skills that I've attained and developed is, number one, being personable, being cool. My life philosophy also, ABC, always be cool. You know, so if you're cool, look, if you're cool, people will surround you. You know, they'll be around you all the time because you'll be an asset to people. And again, helping people increases networking, being an asset to people, gaining knowledge. That's another thing about networking people don't understand is become better at what you do. Acquire skills, acquire talent, acquire new skills, whatever it is. And that's the difference, I think, also with trainers. I always tell trainers, I go, listen, be more well-rounded. If you want to network and grow your business, become more specialized in nutrition, in supplementation, in rest and recovery, in body mechanics, whatever it is, rehab, right, movement, as you do as well. So I think that, if you encompass more than just a trainer, right? There's an ad running out here like with LeBron James, more than an athlete, right? So we say be more than a trainer.
Yeah.
What that means is encompass more, do more, give a total body transformation experience, and even learn psychological things. Become a psychological kind of specialist, a mental health specialist, because all of this relates and it's interconnected. And if you do all those things, then of course you're going to network easier because people will find you more of an asset. Yeah. So that's the best way to network, actually.
Love that, Ryan. Yeah, I love that you say about being well-rounded, because I think so many people say you just got to specialize in this one specific narrow field. But if you dominate in literally the psychological nutrition and you are good at all them things, you are so much more valuable. So it is good to be diverse sometimes as well. Also, the last little bit I wanted to ask about was about Zack Snyder. How was that the first time when you met him, and what is Zack Snyder like in person?
Oh, he's great. I actually met him at one of the Batman screenings, and we met him at Warner Brothers.
Wow.
They had a huge studio with all the Batmobile and all the cool stuff in there. Like, it was one of the best experiences ever, man. Jumping in the Batmobile, I mean, could you imagine? It was crazy, unbelievable. So we got to drive around the Batmobile, and it was just, I mean, it's surreal. But when I met him, I mean, really, he's just, again, another cool guy. Loves training, by the way.
Yeah.
A great workout guy as well. So he was just, very generous, very cool, very nice, and he's like, "Hey man, good job on Ben, right? Because we got it ready." So he was a really good dude. Again, I don't want people to misunderstand. I want people to really realize that even Ben, when he transformed into Batman, it required work. Like, don't ever think that, oh, he's just a celebrity. He has chefs and personal, but at the end of the day, no chef or no trainer can lift the weight for you. Right? I mean, you gotta put that hour in, you gotta put that grind in, you gotta sleep correctly. Like, sleep is a very underrated part of fitness. So that is done by the client, right? So that's something that people have to understand, is that, look, you can see celebrities and, oh yeah, they got it easy, but at the end of the day, they're doing all the work. So you can't, look, there's no substitute for hard work. And that's something I'll give to anybody at any level. Like, if you do the work, you'll have success. Now, whether it's today, a year from now, patience and gratitude, man. You got patience, you got gratitude, you put the work in, you're going to have success eventually, right? I mean, Abraham Lincoln had a great quote that said, if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend 4 hours sharpening the axe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you're getting ready. You're just preparing. You're strengthening yourself. I always say, like a superhero. Superheroes fortify themselves. Be fortified like a superhero, right? Yeah. Have a shield. And build that shield and get ready, and then everything that comes at you, you can deflect it much easier. So that's how it is.
Love that, yeah. I think it was Jim Rohn who said, like, no one can do your push-ups for you. So it's literally, like, parallel to that. So thank you so much for that, Rehan. I've honestly really, really enjoyed that. And it was honestly, like, a massive, I'm very, very grateful for your time. In terms of someone wants to contact you and ask you any questions or, check out some of your work, what's the best way people can get a hold of you?
You can just find me on social media, on Twitter or Instagram. It's at Six Pack Diet Plan, SIX. So yeah, just hit me up on social media, and if you guys want me to film a video or anything about anything specific, just let me know. And I really appreciate you having me on, man. This has been really, really fun. Really fun times.
It's been cool, man. Honestly, the fact that I can say I've talked to Ben Affleck's trainer and honestly, man, really enjoy it. It's very insightful, and I can honestly see why you are successful, because you are so personal and so friendly, and so I've met a lot of people in the industry, and they can be very arrogant and stuff, but you're honestly so down to earth. So thank you so much for your time, brother, and we'll wrap it up there, man. Okay.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon, and then keep up the great work, man. Be great.
Yeah, you too, bro.